Coming up this week on Two Noobs, if you've got whiplash from checking your 401k this week, we've got you covered. We're talking tariffs in topic 1 till talking terminates. Alliteration. Next, InGen brings back the T-Rex. Colossal brings back the dire wolf. Matt is displeased. Will he be the first to be eaten? Then MIT study says that AI does not have values. Gosh, who could have predicted that? And we close with blind rankings. What silly thing will these fools put number 1 on their lists? Only one way to find out. Start the music. Welcome into episode
1.
Yeah, it's not spoiler.
Okay. Yeah, we're in the room together. How about that? For episode 237 of Two Noobs Talking. My mind is blown. This is a first in the history of this podcast, people.
Absolutely insane. But it's great to be with you both. I mean, I would have never ever thought that this would have ever happened, to be perfectly honest. But Johnny, great to have you with us, bud. I mean, what do you think, founder?
No, it's good to be here. It's good that we're doing this. Let's give it a try.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Absolutely.
Maybe we won't suck. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Never know. Never know.
Look at John being all like, oh, I'm a noob at this.
If only.
If only. Yeah. All right. So, I don't even know what to do now.
It is different. I will say that, because it's like we've done it together in here before. And John, of course, last week I had my place, and the week before that. But yeah, never had it all three of us together. It's
Left and right.
I know that's going to make the intro easy, because I can go on my left and on my right. But it's still weird because on my left, you're right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. So let me try that. Okay. Yeah. So, welcome to Two Noobs Talking, episode 237. Let me introduce people on my left, your right of the screen. That's judicial John Tracy. I don't know why I stumbled through that. On my right, your left, that's matrimonial Matt Craig. In the middle, I'm saucy Steve Murray. How about that? I still can't get over the fact that we're sitting in a room together doing this for the first time ever.
Really bizarre. Yeah. But it's a good thing. It's an absolute good thing. And yeah. I mean,
I don't have to wear like headphones that hurt my.
No.
It's good. Very good. All right. Well, why don't we start talking about something other than us being in the same room? Alex Ovechkin scored goal number 895 last week. I know John is a huge fan, so I wanted to give him an opportunity to go off on that.
Really don't got much. I'm glad he did. And I loved the little conversation he had with the players when he was when they were getting ready for the power play. He's like, I'm going here. Make sure you make sure you get that pass on me. And to the young kid, and when he did, and he scored, the loudness that he screamed, like after he scored, was just awesome. I was so happy for him.
Yeah.
And so was Wayne. So, you can't be mad at it.
Indeed.
Well, I mean, Wayne was happy because now he doesn't have to go into any more of these games. That's good for him. But it was interesting to watch. Matt and I discussed on our other podcast how there were these people who were saying, oh, he reached 894 in one fewer game than Gretzky. And I'm like, well, technically, Gretzky scored his 894th like 6 games earlier. He didn't score for the last like 6-7 games of his career. So technically, but I mean, and he scored 40. He's at 41.
Yeah, I think it was like 42. I think was the season total. Yeah,
That's a lot for a dude who's 39 years
yeah.
old. So he could, if he plays another year or two, he could be a very serious threat to maybe hit 1,000. I don't know.
It doesn't look like he's stopping. He looks good. He really does look pretty good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a couple of years, and he looks top physical. Like that shot, you don't make that shot like as a schlub. That shot is not like that was the record goal.
He also broke his leg this season.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, to come back from that and to do what he's done, and really the Capitals have really surprised a lot of people this year. No one had really expected them to really contend for the top division. Everybody's going to think Rangers, Hurricanes, maybe even the Devils coming back. And yet here's the Capitals coming out of nowhere, really. I think it's been a surprise season, but I hope they lose in the first round. I'm just saying. My money's on the Jets. Now, that means they're probably going to lose in the first round, too. The Winnipeg Jets aren't going to win. But, yeah, I mean, it's tremendous to see what he's done in the course of his career, and especially in this season, coming back off the broken leg.
Yeah. I'm with you. I hope they lose in the first round. But anyway, that's just the Flyer capital hater in me. But this was one of the records that was this one of the ones where people had said this will never be broken?
Pretty close, yeah. I mean, everybody was thinking, like, I know for me personally, I thought Gretzky would never even be touched again. I thought 894 was going to be there for a long time. I was not expecting 895 to happen, I guess, so quickly, but it was like 30 years, I think, was the difference. So, who knows? Who knows what might happen?
Well, certainly his total points is still very safe. Nobody's coming anywhere near that anytime soon. But we're going to get more into that in topic 4. So why don't we go to our W Energy fun fact so we can keep the show on track instead of Gretzky versus Ovechkin bashing. Yeah, all right. So our W Energy fun fact is brought to you by W Energy Drinks. Visit W Energy at their website, w.gg, or download the app to your phone. You get 10% off your order if you use our promo code. That's Too Noobs Talking, TOONOOPS Talking. That's going to put it down there, covering the crap all over my table that you see unnaturally in front of us. But that's also because I apparently slur my words when I give the promo code. You cold, bro?
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's April, but temperatures here are still frigid, as you can tell by John wearing a hoodie. Warm up with W's Beach and Peach energy drink. W has taken white peach and blended in some mango at the perfect ratio to create an extremely unique and sweet flavor. If you love mango or peach, this is a must-try. Get $4 off a $40 tub with our promo code. And by the way, the one I promoted last week, I told you all it was limited. They only made 20. They're sold out. So if you didn't listen to me, screw you. So, John, you have the fun fact, allegedly.
It's in this phone down here. So the Philadelphia Eagles made the first ever pick in the very first NFL draft in 1936. They drafted the Heisman Trophy winner, which we decided his name is Jay Berwanger. I'm going with it. Who then opted not to play in the
Of course he did, because that's what it was all about back in 1936.
That is an extremely Philadelphia thing to have happen, for sure. To draft the Heisman Trophy winner, and he was like,
in the first ever draft with the first pick.
Yeah, that's great. That's a lot.
We like history here.
There you go.
Right. WNBA draft. Who's your no? Screw that. Over 40. Who's got one?
I would probably still complain about the weather like I did last week, because this is absolutely ridiculous.
You're not allowed.
I'm not allowed? Okay. Well, then I really don't have anything to complain about this week then.
Do you want to bitch about Ovechkin beating Gretzky's?
No, it doesn't bother me. I mean, it was gonna happen.
Doesn't bother
And Ovechkin's a good player. It's good that he's the one to do it, and I'm glad he said that he did not want to do it on an empty net goal, which I think is, because I know plenty of people who are like, "Oh, sign me up."
I'm a little upset of the goalie that he scored on. Like, hey, let me get a stick for some pucks. I'm like, you're a bit of a bitch, but you should. Why not just not let him score?
Right? Yeah.
That was a tough shot too.
Yeah.
That was a really tough shot.
It was the top of the circle, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a tough shot for the goalie and the player.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt about that. We got to have an over 40 though complaining about something though. Maybe we don't because we're all together.
Yeah, maybe
for the very first time.
All right, let's move on to topic one.
Let's move on.
We are at peace. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I, for one, cannot. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Actually, I do have an over 40.
Oh, there you go.
Look at this. Look at this. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who thinks that podcasting is easy, I mean, look at all this wired mess, and I'm pressing buttons over here that I don't even know what I'm even doing. A little bit nicer. Okay. Just don't trip. That's the only thing.
Well, you folks can't see, but John is sitting.
Yeah.
He's still sitting.
Trip hazard, and I'm on the safety committee. This is not good. This is not good. Don't air this thing at all.
We'll fix that after topic one.
You need some caution tape.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Right.
Well, I guess my rant then is against cords. Cords have been the bane of my existence for nigh on decades now because they make a mess. I mean,
look at that. Look at all this. Look at all that. Right there.
Swing that thing behind you.
Yeah. Right? I mean, it's just like, it's insane.
Well, I remember back when I bought my first surround sound set from Circuit City. And I bought it because I worked there. It was beautiful. But at the time, my parents, the room I was able to put it in, we still had the old cathode ray tube, and it was still the coax cable input, and that was the only thing in the back of the TV. They didn't have the HDMI or even the RCA like outputs. When you wanted to play a video game, you had this little box you put in through the cable line with the switch to go back and forth. The stuff I had to do to be able to get TV sound out of the surround sound speakers, I had to come in one thing, go back out another. I had to use Y adapters, and if you pulled the TV back from the wall, it was just a maze of cables that just looked hideous. Yeah. And the problem I have these days is, now it's a lot better with plugging in, but you still have all these cords. And when you have the cabinets that they sit on, they're kind of open and you can see them all dangling back there. And it angers me so.
Just waiting to cause a fire right at the end of the day.
No, it's just a visual shithole.
When I did my TV in my apartment when we moved in 2020, it's very simple. I have two DVD players. I have a Blu-ray and I have a regular one because Amber's movies, and I have the TV. We don't have cable, so there's no wires there. When I just did HDMI, and a plug in the back, my wife looked behind me and she was like, "Where are all the wires? We don't need that many wires anymore, babe. There's it's only 4. It's fine."
Right?
She was shocked that there was not 8,000 wires that needed to be involved.
Gosh.
Problem for you, you do realize Blu-ray players play DVD, right?
Yes.
So you could actually consolidate those two down to one.
She just wanted. Well, we bought the Blu-ray second because we bought the DVD player by accident. So I just put the Blu-ray. I just connected them together, hooked it to another HDMI, and just labeled it. It was easier than taking the middle one.
There you go.
Fair enough. Although I was reminded again why physical media is extremely important to buy, because Netflix and those others, they just like to steal it from you.
Boy, that could be an over 40 times 3, I think, with the amount of physical media now disappearing and everybody going digital. No, we don't want that. We don't want that at all. Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, I just discovered what an awesome show Space Ghost Coast to Coast is. And I'm like, oh, do they make DVDs of that?
Mhm.
And maybe they did 20 years ago, so they're expensive to get now. But speaking of expensive, let's move on to topic one.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because I don't have an article for this, so
Doesn't matter.
look at that. See that?
100%. 100% ripping.
Topic one.
It's enough. That's all we need.
There you go.
All we need.
There you go.
If just sitting at home at my home office, doing my work. The stupid little Microsoft likes to put a little news thing down in my lower right-hand corner. So every so often I happen to glance down there as it flips over and you see Dow is down 7%. The next day I'm looking at the Dow is up 6%. The Dow is and then even in the same day, it's like the Dow is down 3%. Oh, no, it's up 1%. Oh, no, it's going back down 4%. Allegedly, that's all because
Insider trading. No, I'm sorry.
That's later. That's a later.
Oh, that's a later episode. Got it. Sorry. No, it's
you said it.
I know. That's what I've heard, though. I've heard a lot of jokes about, this is a little insider trading going on here, and it's not even close to that.
Well, I mean, the precursor to this was the tariffs situation. Donald Trump ran on a platform that he was going to institute tariffs against foreign countries, and I'm not exactly, maybe one of you knows how tariffs work.
A little bit.
Yeah. You have some idea.
I don't have a master's degree in it, but I can explain it a little bit.
I mean, it's you charge money on stuff that's imported into the country is my understanding. And a lot of countries apparently do this to us already. So Trump started slapping tariffs upon tariffs last week in retaliation for that. I thought, like a month ago, it was Mexico and Canada for fentanyl. This is something different, I guess.
Yeah.
He was just playing with them. That wasn't the real tariffs.
Okay, so he slapped a bunch of tariffs on all these other countries, including an island that apparently is only inhabited by penguins. But the penguins needed...
Pay up, penguins.
They needed to be put in their place. That's just the bottom line.
Right.
Then he goes apparently and puts a 90-day freeze because he's getting calls from all these countries like, hey, let's work out a deal. I'm like, well, that would be a good thing. Except for China. So he was like, you know what, China, 100%.
I think it's 108 as of today.
Yeah.
It could be. So China retaliates with their own increase of tariffs on us, and then he retaliates. And I believe China, the latest statement was, they're just going to ignore further retaliation from us, which is fine because I don't know how much we actually ship to China in the first place.
Little to nothing.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
But I think it's like 87% of our goods are from China. So
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that.
yes. Well, do you know that the Made in USA sticker is made in China? The actual one.
Are you kidding
There's
me?
a second one that is made in the United States, but it's not widely used. But the one you normally see is made in China.
It's made in China.
Yeah, on the back of it says made in
Oh
China.
my gosh. Oh jeez.
Well,
It's bad.
Yeah.
the blowback in our country for the tariffs is that people say, well, the company being charged the tariff for importing it in is just going to now increase the price by the same amount. And we're going to pay that amount, at the ticket counter.
At any counter.
Yeah.
At any counter where you're exchanging good money for goods and services.
Right.
So I get that. I also see some good comes out of this, right? One of the things in my IP world you see a lot is IP ripoffs on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Companies selling infringing goods on Amazon, and they are notoriously hard to locate.
Shocking.
Yeah, shocking. So,
Communist Party is amazing at what they do.
So perhaps tariffs on incoming Chinese imports will lessen the number of knockoffs on Amazon, but it certainly played havoc with the stock market. John, I'll go to you first as our resident. I want my money.
Yes.
Political man.
Well,
So how does this play into you wanting your money back?
First, real quick, I just would like to have a quick conversation with the left-wing media.
Yep. Please do.
Since when is a communist party a good thing? Can we first look at ourselves and realize you're defending the Communist Party of China?
Do you hear that out there, left-wing media?
Like,
Honestly, right? I mean, that's a big.
you're
point.
defending them.
That's
You're
a big
literally
point.
defending the Communist Party.
Mhm.
That should not be allowed on U.S. soil ever.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yep.
Second thing, reciprocal is the word that we're using, and this is what Trump's been using. He doesn't say it right, but he's been using it a lot, which makes total sense.
Like George Bush and
Yeah.
nuclear.
Totally.
Nuclear.
That was the joke I was going for. Thank you for describing that. He's doing. It's basic. It's been done. It's been done a couple times in history. Matt, you're the historian here. You can tell me when it was done. I just know it's been done 3 or 4 times, where they've said, "All right, if you're going to tariff us, 13% for whatever, 13% for whatever you send to us," and that's was creating fair trade back in the day. What China's doing is not fair trade. They're like 90, I think it's 96 or 97% in. They don't allow anything into their country from us. We can't even sell them a donut.
Well, we're the devil. I mean, that's
we
probably
can't. Yeah,
why.
we can't even sell them a donut.
Yeah.
So they're sending all this stuff, and they don't expect us to put a tariff on that. But yet our tariffs are obviously 100% because that's what he reciprocal. That's what he put on them. And then he got pissed. And then he was like, it's 108, it's 109. It's probably going to go up to 200 by the time we're done this podcast. He does not like them. So, hey,
Yeah.
do you, boo-boo?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
I
okay
mean-
with it.
and he ran on that, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. It was a promise that he ran on.
I voted for him for that for that literal reason that he was going to find fair trade.
You made the great point
Yeah.
on the podcast. You may not have agreed with it,
No.
but there was a plan. There was something that he said that was like, all right, I'm going to run on this because it's not fair to the country. It's not fair for us to ship our stuff over to China and get slapped with a 95% tariff on it.
Yeah.
It's just totally ridiculous. And he's doing what he thinks is right for the country, essentially like defending the country from these unjust price increases. And again, he has every right to do that. He ran on it. He's fulfilling a campaign promise. Now, all the hecticness of the stock market tells me don't put your money in stocks. I mean, that's the number one thing. But that's, we could also go with 401ks. 401ks are tied to the stock market, which scares the living daylights out of me. That's a whole other subject.
But in reality, I was telling Steve during pre-production, I watched my 401k during it. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
It literally was like, like it was nothing. Like it was like $5 was like I'm out, and then $7 was like I'm back.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
Diversify.
Yeah, it wasn't crazy.
I didn't even look at mine because I'm still so far away from even considering retirement. So it's kind of pointless to worry about it.
100%.
And the way I have invested it as I have a target fund, like roughly, when are you going to be 65? So Vanguard is like,
2040.
2045.
Here's the fund you got to invest in.
We'll ramp this thing up when you get closer.
Yeah.
Right. So they adjust the the stock to bond ratio or whatever it is, depending on. So it's probably more aggressive now. So it probably suffered this week, but again, over time it's going to increase anyway. So I wasn't concerned about it. The tariff thing, I thought one of the thoughts behind it though also was to force companies to make stuff here.
Yes.
If you have to pay 100% tariff to bring it in from China, well, maybe I ought to just make it here in the first place. And the part of the unfairness with China was, well, yeah, we can flood your market with crap made by people who we pay pennies.
Yeah.
Slave labor.
Slave labor. And that's gonna push out any American, products you may have.
Yeah. I mean,
so that's part of what's behind this.
For crying out loud, we're recording on a Mac that was made in China, more than likely. And then there are other things like Nike sneakers also made in China. There are a lot of other things that come from China as well. And some of it not so good either. I've noticed that some of the quality, it's very, very, it's very unclear with the instructions of like what you need to do. I've seen like a couple of gifts that I've seen, or gifts that have been given to me from the family, where it's like they give them Chinese instructions, and it's literal. The translation is literal Chinese to English, one word at a time. It is not broken into a complete sentence, and that's really bizarre. That's like, okay, well then, how am I supposed to fit this into here? And you're trying to figure it out and all that kind of stuff. But
in my previous career, when China started ramping up their imports and creating companies, there was a huge rift in the industry because everybody was switching to the Chinese. It was called VIA, was the company that came in. They were trying to pressure AMF into basically bankruptcy so they could buy them and they would move everything over to China.
Interesting.
The thing we found out, this was like 2013, 14, the things we found out, everything was off by that much. Everything.
Really?
Every single part that you would, because of course the owners want to do it because it's cheap, right?
Sure.
But every time you're in, you're like, give me the drill. Now it fits. Like that was my life for 2 or 3 years. It's not manufactured great there, and it's never going to be.
Right, because again, and I keep going back, Lean Six is more of a Japanese invention than it is. And Japan is excellent.
Yeah.
Actually, you can only look at the Toyota manufacturing.
And they're on the list, by the way, to work with us and lower their stuff. Build more plants here.
Absolutely.
Why is that? Because they know what they're doing. They're not a communist organization.
They know what the hell they're doing.
Exactly.
That's one thing that you could count on with the Japanese is like, that you're going to get a high quality product.
That's the point with the left-wing media. They're acting like it's racist, but what's happening is India's moving things over. Japan's moving things over.
Yeah.
The UK wants to work with us.
Yeah.
Someone finally stepped up and was like, "Yo, we're not playing this game anymore.
Yeah.
You gotta play ball with us."
It's not working. The old regime wasn't working.
But the new regime, it's bringing everybody together. Yeah. Let's get these plants built in Middle America. Let's bring back the middle class.
Yeah.
But is he right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're at least making steps.
It's a temperature take. Really.
Yeah,
it really is.
At least we're making steps towards what I remember growing up in.
Yeah.
I didn't see this before. What did Biden do?
All I heard growing up, guys, when I was in high school, certainly was the North American or North Atlantic Free Trade Agreement. And I remember...
Or NAFTA.
Or NAFTA. Maybe I didn't do that right. But anyway, I remember hearing about that, and I was like, I didn't realize that we were, I guess, for the first time slapping trades or slapping trades on tariffs. Right? I mean, come on. I'm not a professional. Slapping tariffs on trades with Canada and Mexico. And it was like, well, why the hell are we even doing that? Like, that's even ridiculous. Like, we could just cross a border and just say, like, if you want X, here you go. That kind of, it made sense, like from a high school perspective. It's like, okay, well, that makes total sense when that came out. And ultimately, that's really what it's all about. I mean, slapping additional tariffs on stuff, I think, at the end of the day, isn't going to help anybody. But if you're able, Trump kind of talks about this with the art of the deal. If you're able to negotiate through a trade or through a tariff, it's kind of a weird way to do it because it's like you're not sitting down at a table like all three of us are and talking about it. You're using like, okay, I'm just going to put the squeeze and the kibosh on you here because I don't agree with the fact that you're telling us that we have to now pay you an additional 95% on a good that I want to sell you. That's ridiculous. So therefore, if you're going to do the same to us, 105, 108, 110. And it's like he's playing this negotiating game with Xi Jinping. And who's going to blink first? I mean, that's ultimately what this is going to come down to. And that has the stock market kind of going like, I don't know what to do. Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Well, they don't because they don't have they don't have a clear.
Yeah.
It's never happened before.
It's never happened. This is a full-on trade war, and you can see it. Honestly, I hope it works. I'm kind of tired of the media is just all after Trump. Just for the fact that they hate him. I mean, that's plain as day.
Well, it has to work, or I already see it. I just saw a clip with Rachel Maddow. She's already pushing her base. He's not going to be here that long. Don't worry about it. It's
No.
like the left is already like, they're attacking, but they're also like, oh, don't worry, we're going to fix this later. And it's like, they're so delusional
Yeah.
that this has to work.
And they were also,
For us to live as people, like this literally, he has to be right.
and correct me if I'm wrong, John, weren't some of the Democrats also saying that we needed to raise tariffs back in the 90s and 2000s? So
Yes.
what do you want, Democrats? Honest to God, which side do you want to be on here? Like, what is going on with you? Anyway.
Don't ask that question because Chuck Schumer can't talk anymore.
Yeah.
That's the hypocrisy in all of this.
Yes.
It depends on who's bringing the message, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, because Trump said it, well, we're against it, even though we've got you on tape 20 years ago. Like, well, we got to slap a tariff.
That didn't count because that was 1982.
That was 1995. You can't imagine. I
didn't
can't
say
remember
that.
when I said that. Yeah.
I didn't say that directly on the camera on C-SPAN.
Every podcast before that means nothing. It means what I
Exactly.
mean now.
That's right.
Right. I'm with you. People freak out, and I don't think the media is trying to play it up as though this is like the permanent thing that's going to go on for eternity.
Yeah.
But I think you even see with the 90-day pause, it's like, well, when somebody's actually faced with one of these things,
Mhm.
it's a matter of talk versus action. The good thing, and there's lots of things that I hate about Trump, but at least he's taking an action. He's trying something.
Exactly.
I hope to God it works, because but at least it's better than the status quo.
Well, and you're seeing some of the countries are coming back and saying, okay, yeah, you know what? I think I'm in agreement with you here. We shouldn't be slapping additional charges on these things.
That was what the 90-day pause was for. And
Exactly.
I agreed with that because he's like, hey, let my team negotiate.
Yeah.
Now we don't need to play this game anymore.
Let's
now
talk it
negotiate.
out, and we'll.
But I
figure it
also agree with him. Go and fuck China. Because
Right.
they don't want to play ball. Just keep fucking with them.
Yeah.
They're communists. Just keep fucking
out.
with them.
With them. Exactly.
Look,
I have
I
no
mean,
problem
this
with that.
as a lawyer, I see it all the time, right? It's like, well, I want you to come to the negotiating table, but you're like, nah. Well, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna file a lawsuit now.
Yeah.
To get you to come to that table.
Now you're like, oh, now you're serious. Okay, now I will come and negotiate with you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, and it just depends on how stubborn you are.
Mhm.
You know, if we have to get through summary judgment, okay, that's where you finally come to the table.
Yeah.
Maybe John, on the other hand, is like, yeah, I'll talk to you.
Yeah, I'd rather talk to you.
Yeah.
And that's what India did. They immediately, first ones on the border, like, you know what? Our tariffs are ridiculous. Let's negotiate something that works better for both countries.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's going for.
Mhm.
But I mean, the media.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. And
He's
I think
evil.
that's and we could go down all kinds of different side roads with them. They're a big time problem, and they have always been a big time problem.
China. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it.
You brought this Mac into my home.
Mhm.
I'm gonna charge you $95.
There you go.
Damn it. You
Yeah.
You didn't.
You're physically here. I can
You,
make
did,
pay
you
up.
didn't fight
hold
back.
on. I'm just gonna take out my wallet and okay.
That's a tiny ass wallet.
It is. It's great. It's a Ridge wallet. Look at that. Look at that thing. It just
Is that one of the?
Matt's been online.
yeah, I've been online. Yeah, no doubt.
Is that one of the snappy ones? Like the pops up?
Not quite. It basically bends kind of like that, but you can also you have to hold it down a little bit to kind of open it up like wide like that. Yeah, that kind of a deal. So I've kind of done it. It's really cool. It saves a lot in the in the pockets and whatnot. Because I had that one of those big old ass trifold wallets that were like this big, and you boom boom, and it's like only a piece of paper inside your wallet.
I got
Or
a
pocket.
smaller wallet for Christmas, and I put it on my Christmas list. I intentionally did not ask for a Ridge wallet because I've heard that snap mechanism can like break.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't want to do that. So the one I got has a little like a pull tab. You
Yeah.
pull it, and the credit cards come up, and you can push them back down.
That's nice.
But mine actually still also holds cash. Doesn't look like yours.
Yeah, it's kind of like a money clip type of thing where I have to pull it out again. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. So like on the back side, you can see
Yeah.
it maybe like
Yeah,
right
your
there,
money clip,
right?
yeah.
Got a little money clip. So you have to fold. I can't really hold like a ton of cash in here, but I mean, I pay by credit card anyway, so it's no big deal at that point. But there you go.
Oh,
Look at me.
I'm Matt. I pay with a paper.
I don't need that paper money floating around. What do I need that for?
Sue's gonna be like, I just tap pay. They don't even touch my credit.
Kind of like, boop, that's it. You know. Oh, jeez.
All right, let's get to topic 2 here.
Let's do it.
Matt brought this one to us. A species of wolf that died out some 12,500 years ago lives again.
Oh no.
As the world's first successfully de-extincted animal. I didn't even know that was a word.
Wow.
Apparently, according to Google Docs, it's not because it underlined it. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
It's a typo. This is according to a Dallas-based biotech company, Colossal Bioscience. Colossal scientists have created 3 dire wolf pups by using ancient DNA, cloning, and gene editing technology to alter the genes of a gray wolf, the prehistoric dire wolf's closest living relative. The company announced Monday. Are you giving it for a high five? Or you
Yeah, well, I'll give you a high five. We're now here.
Yeah. Right. The result is essentially a hybrid species similar in appearance to its extinct forerunner. Colossal has been working toward resurrecting the mammoth, dodo, and Tasmanian tiger since 2021, but the company had not previously publicized its work on dire wolves. This massive milestone is the first of many coming examples demonstrating that our end-to-end de-extinction technology stack works, said Ben Lamb, Colossal's co-founder and CEO, in a news release. Our team took DNA from a 13,000-year-old tooth, put it in an eye, and a 72,000
Yeah, and your cheek first. Before your eye.
and a 72,000-year-old skull and made healthy dire wolf puppies. The 3 dire wolves are living in a 2,000-acre site at an undisclosed location, enclosed by 10-foot tall (3 meter tall) zoo-grade fencing, where they are monitored by security personnel, drones, and live camera feeds. Colossal said the facility has been certified by the American Humane Society, or Oz, and registered with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, or USDA. But I insist that Matt post a picture.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. There we go.
Because they're adorable.
They are adorable. All right, Matt, you are a hater of cute things. I'm going to you first because you brought this article.
I'm definitely muting you now, so you can't say a damn word while I go on my rant here. This is. I had a big time problem with this. Yeah, exactly right. I had only a big time problem with this only because it's men playing God. That's it.
Agreed.
That's all I have to say about that. I don't like it because it went extinct for a reason. There's a purpose and a reason why it happened. And now we're bringing something back that shouldn't belong. I mean, and I get it. It's very highly controversial, and I don't care. It's my own podcast. I'm part of it. I can say whatever the hell I want. And that's how I feel. I just don't like it. I think we go down this road where it's like we're just manipulating stuff to get it to a specific species that we want because we miss it so much. No, it went extinct. It's done. It's over. I just have a big time. The biggest issue I've got is that my conscience is telling me this is not right. This is man playing God. God created something for his own creation and glory. It's what I believe in. Now that it went extinct due to obviously death and being overtaken by nature, what business is it of ours to go in and replace it? That's all I'm just throwing out there as a question. And that's where I have a big time problem with us manipulating stuff to make it seem like, oh, this is the dire wolf from 12,500 years ago, when it's not close to the dire wolf that was created 12,500 years ago. It's our manipulation of DNA that's causing something to look like. It's not an exact copy. That kind of thing. I could go on and on. But that's just me. But now go ahead, gents. I wait your rebuttal.
There is no rebuttal. It's a gray wolf. It's a genetically modified gray wolf, just like it's not a woolly mammoth. It's a genetically modified African, whatever the hell they called it, or the we've covered all these. The tiger is not. It's
the Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah, it's not a Tasmanian tiger. It's a genetically modified version of whatever that tiger was. It's not what they're promoting it as. They're using these catchphrases so everybody gets excited about science. They're not doing anything that they haven't been doing before. It's almost ridiculous.
Yeah.
We got this ancient this and that, and we're gonna inject it into, oh, shockingly, a thing that's living now,
Yeah.
and we're gonna make something else. You're playing, like, to your point, you're
Mm.
playing God,
Mm.
and you don't know what if this. They're already having wolf issues
Yeah.
in the United States. What if
Mm.
this one is hyper aggressive because of genetic modification, and you have an even bigger wolf problem? You can't even solve the wolf problem you caused.
Yeah.
And you're freaking missing.
Yeah. Right.
That's
A little bit of an
liberals,
issue
man.
there. Yeah.
Oh, I can't handle it.
Yeah. Yes.
It's Jurassic Park. It literally
It is. No, it is. It is.
It's literally Jurassic Park. You are bringing back an extinct animal.
Mhm.
You're de-extincting it.
Yep.
Uh,
That's a great word, by the way.
Yes.
De-extincting. That's crazy.
you're bringing back an extinct animal. You are filling holes in the DNA with an existing creature.
Mhm.
This is exactly why did you not listen to Jeff Goldblum?
Agree.
I,
Agree.
I mean, and I completed my Godzilla DVD Blu-ray collection
That's good. That's good.
with the one I was missing.
Yep.
It was called Godzilla versus Biollante,
Oh.
and this is the same exact thing.
See?
They created a hybrid of Godzilla and a plant, and everything went to hell.
Do you see where this leads, ladies and gentlemen? This is crazy.
Genetic power
Yeah. It's evil.
is
Yeah.
it's
It's not good.
it's scary.
Yeah,
what
it's
you can
not
do.
good.
It's as bad as nuclear
Yeah.
weapons.
Yeah.
Right. It's just the things you can do with genetic power
Yes.
Mhm.
are incredible.
Yeah.
Now these wolves are freaking adorable.
Yeah, they are. They're beautiful. They're
Yeah.
awesome.
Beautiful.
But so are gray wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And I don't understand. I mean, again, to go to Jeff Goldblum, condors were on the verge of extinction because of what we did.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to use this, and the condors were still alive, so you don't really need to use this
No, you just
to
breed
bring
them.
them back. You just breed them better.
They did it with the bald eagle.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you're trying to resurrect a species that we are driving to extinction,
Mhm.
that's a different thing.
Totally different.
If you're trying to bring back something that wasn't even around
Mhm.
at a time when mankind as we know it
Mhm.
existed.
Right.
And you know nothing about it.
Right.
Exactly.
Scientists.
Right.
Oh, we've got fossil records. We've got other things that you
You
can
don't
dig
have,
for.
You don't have breeding habits. You don't have
Mhm.
you don't have hunting habits. You don't have, it's the same shit that they did when they relocated the wolves. You don't have the data.
The T-Rex. How many times have we gone back and forth between, oh, it was a scavenger. Oh, no, it actually hunted live dinosaurs. Oh, no, it was actually a scavenger. It was,
Oh,
We don't know.
It could have been half chicken. Like, they don't know.
Right. Could have been. Absolutely could have been.
Kind of looks like a chicken.
Yeah. I mean,
Chicken lizard.
can you imagine that? That would be hilarious. That would oh my gosh, that'd be a complete reimagining of Jurassic Park.
If you just sat
He's
down
running
and
around.
an egg every once in a
You said-
while.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, Steve,
It's not
you're,
a roar,
it's such a great point that you raised because, yeah, the manipulation of the gene itself and the fact that we're not perfect, and yet we're trying to manipulate something that is perfect in order to bring about something that we've missed, quote unquote, missed over the last 12,000 some odd years, where, John, to your point, we don't know its breeding habits. We don't even know where it lived at one point. We have no idea. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, we brought this back. This is great. It's a Game of Thrones.
Very cute.
Yeah. It's like we have to be really, really careful in this. We really, really do. And that's where I'm like, that's where all of my reservations on all of this is happening. It's kind of like, do we really know what we're doing here? Probably not. Maybe we do. I don't know.
That's important because I don't mean to demean
Yes.
or over exaggerate the genetic.
Mhm.
It has very important uses that can be very helpful for curing illnesses,
Yes.
for fixing certain things. But you gotta use it the right way. It's the same thing with nuclear power. It's very important for creating lots of energy from small fuel sources. It's way better than burning coal and all these other things that we do. But you have to use it correctly.
Oh yeah.
And as cute as these dire wolves are, I don't know that this is the best use of the technology.
Yeah.
And Jeff Goldblum told us, and we have to listen to Jeff Goldblum.
Exactly.
It's just the bottom line.
That's exactly
You don't
right.
want to hire Predator and Grey Wolf? Come on now. You Nazi.
Since we're all here, I think it's only right that we take Matt's 72,000-year-old skull and manipulate our own DNA accordingly.
And create a good hockey player? Is that what you
I was thinking more along the lines of like a Matt chicken dinosaur hybrid.
There you go.
I just think that would be interesting.
Pigeon, not chicken.
Pigeon?
Yeah,
Ooh,
totally.
ooh, ooh, ooh. There you go.
It's like half Matt, half pigeon, half Dilophosaur.
Wouldn't that be a third of everything?
Quiet you.
I'm a little pissed. The pigeons here sound like the lovebirds that we have in Texas, but they're damn not as cute. So you hoot and holler, and I come looking for you from the hotel room, and I'm like, "You're just a dirt. Go back to Connecticut. Why are you up in Willow Grove? Get away.
It's like, what's going on here? What's happening?
Get back where you're supposed to come from."
I used to see one at the train station downtown who had 1 foot.
Yeah.
So he had like a nub.
He was a
And
gangster.
he was
Yeah.
totally.
I didn't realize he had 1 foot. That's pretty
1
impressive.
foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he got his share.
Oh, there you go.
He was all good. And if you like 1-footed pigeons, you should. Pigeons?
Pigeons?
You see what happens when we're all together? I totally lose my mind. I'm so excited. If you like 1-footed pigeons,
There you go.
and it's still not going to make any sense because I'm going to tell you to go to our website. That's twonoobstalking.wordpress.com. There you will find and be able to watch episodes of our show going all the way back to episode 140. If there's something before that you want to see, it will take you to our YouTube page where you need to like, share, and subscribe. That almost worked.
There you go.
There you go.
Subscribe. There you go.
Yeah, the thing with the thumb.
Yeah.
That
That's
points up,
totally
not
gonna
down.
Post-production hit us in the face with things.
Like. Yeah, so, and also on our website, there is a box on the homepage. If you put your email address in there and hit subscribe, John will email you 72,000-year-old skulls of dire wolves
There you go.
that you can use with your own home DNA growing kit. No, I'm just kidding.
To make gray wolves with
Right.
an
Right.
extra foot.
Right?
What it actually does is it notifies you every time I upload a new episode to the website, which is typically weekly. But,
It never feels like it. It's fine.
Whenever you feel like it.
No.
Mm.
It's not what I feel like, it's what I remember.
Oh, wait.
I got a lot going on.
Well, I mean, you are a patent lawyer. You do, approve things and deny things every once in a while.
No, that's the examiner.
Oh, that's the example. Oh, okay. So what do? You just stand up there and just talk for like 8 hours a day and just say like, oh, blah, 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 blah.
I convince them to approve it.
There you go. See? There you go.
I'm just that damn persuasive.
Ding, 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 ding. There you go.
But why aren't you visiting our website if I'm that persuasive?
Like right now. What's wrong with you?
Let's go.
Right now. Do it. It was really amazing. That just hit me.
Don't dare.
I think this is the first time we've been all together. I remember years ago, we should talk about this. We were all together playing roller hockey. And if you guys remember, 3-on-3, we combined for a terrific playoff goal. Remember that? There were so many years ago, but I'll never forget. I think John had the puck behind the net. He gave it over to Steve. And for some reason, I was out in front. I don't know what happened, but I was out in front. And Steve spotted me. And he gave me this beautiful pass, which I'll never forgot.
Because that's what I do.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what he does. I get the puck in, he makes magic.
And I was like, oh crap. And I put my stick down and he hit the damn blade, John. Like he hit.
Of course he did.
It was beautiful. And we beat our good friend, it was Rod Hartley, I think. Steve Hartley. Thank you. And we beat him, and that was tremendous. I remember John was just racing, like, burying me in the corner.
Well, yeah, because you scored a goal.
Well, if you hadn't scored, I would have yelled at you to keep your stick down.
Exactly.
Mostly that's what you hear.
Yeah, most of the time, that's what Steve was telling me, was basically, keep your damn stick down. I was like, oh, okay.
I had the easiest hockey career ever playing with Steve, I just got over the line.
There you go.
I either turned around and found him or looked for him in front of me.
Yeah. That's
He was
sometimes
the
that's
one
all
that
it
got
takes.
He was the one that got it.
That's what it all
I like
takes.
scoring goals off other people's sticks.
Yes.
It's fun. It's a challenge.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Well, I was gonna say, since I have to remember to upload to the website every week, maybe I should have AI do it for me. But
There you go.
according to this TechCrunch article for topic 3,
Oh boy.
MIT or MIT.
Sorry, Eddie.
He didn't go to MIT.
I thought he did.
No.
Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even better.
Oh, there you go.
So according to MIT, a study went viral several months ago for implying that as AI becomes increasingly sophisticated, it develops, quote, value systems that lead it to, for example, prioritize its own well-being over humans. A more recent paper out of MIT pours cold water on that hyperbolic notion, drawing the conclusion that AI doesn't, in fact, hold any coherent values to speak of. The co-authors of the MIT study say their work suggests that aligning AI systems, that is, ensuring models behave in desirable, dependable ways, could be more challenging than is often assumed. AI, as we know it today, hallucinates and imitates, the co-authors stress, making it in many aspects unpredictable. One thing that we can be certain about is that models don't obey lots of stability, extrapolability, and steerability assumptions. Stephen Casper, noted nerd and doctoral student at MIT and co-author of the study, told TechCrunch, it's perfectly legitimate to point out that a model under certain conditions expresses preferences consistent with a certain set of principles. The problems mostly arise when we try to make claims about the model's opinions or preferences in general based on narrow experiments. Thank you.
Yes.
Casper thinks this is compelling evidence that models are highly inconsistent and unstable and perhaps even fundamentally incapable of internalizing human-like preferences. For me, my biggest takeaway from doing all this research is to now have an understanding of models as not really being systems that have some sort of stable, coherent set of beliefs and preferences. Instead, they are imitators, deep down, who do all sorts of confabulation and say all sorts of frivolous things. John, you're a purveyor of frivolous things.
Totally.
What's your take on this latest AI theory?
I 100% agree with what he's saying. I use AI, but in a very small.
Yeah.
Hey, I put all these, all this together, and I don't like the way it sounds. Here, make this sound better. Use an extra word that I don't know. Thanks, I appreciate that. And then you read it over again, and then you can create something like it's just organizing. I think that's where we're at with AI. It's only there for those kinds of things, like ideas or concepts that you're not like thinking outside the box. Maybe you can go to AI and it can help you, but it's not. It can't do the work for you. There's no way it could do the work for you because it's like Steve just read. It's mimicking. It's the best Google search we've ever had. That's all it is to me.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, the biggest thing in the world of business that I've been involved in, in the current company I'm working for, they are really, really pushing artificial intelligence, and they're doing that because they want to make sure that all of the mundane tasks that are being done through artificial intelligence. The idea being that you then have enough time to think about other things within the organization. What can we do to make the organization grow? That I'm all in favor of. If there is a mundane task that you're sitting there and you're entering in a lot of mundane things all the time, that is not work. That is basically you're just data entry, basically.
It's a robot.
It's a robot.
And
exactly.
why not use a robot to do a robot's job?
Exactly. And that's a really good thing. I've kind of gone back and forth on this, but I think also too, what I love about it is we talk about bias. We love talking about bias and all that kind of stuff with AI. There is no bias, or there is going to be bias in any artificial intelligence. I don't care who or what sets it up.
1 is 1, 2 is 2.
Exactly.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's an amazing technology. It is also in its infancy. It is not something that needs to be implemented right this second. You need to understand how to use it in order to and familiarize yourself with it in order for that program to do its thing, essentially, so that you can then, okay, I have enough time now. Well, what can I do? What else can I do?
Mhm.
And I can get it too on the business side of things. If you're doing mundane tasks and you like what you do, this kind of sucks. It's kind of like, well, is this going to replace my job? And if you have an organization that says, oh, no, don't worry about it, you're going to be just fine. And then all of a sudden they change their mind 6 months later, that would suck. That would totally suck. But if you put your foot forward and say, okay, well, if I'm in a position where I'm doing mundane stuff and I'm not really thinking all that much, maybe I can utilize this and maybe I can talk to my boss and try and think of ways to maybe, hey, where my talents are, where can you put me in a position that allows me to succeed and get better in the organization? So, future is still to come on this. It's still in its infancy. Proceed with extreme caution for that kind of deal.
It's for me the biggest takeaway of this article is that this preconceived notion that the AI has some moral code to it and that it's always going to default. I mean, John always talks about iRobot. It's like,
Yeah.
that it's going to default to I need to preserve myself over you. I think what we've seen, and we've gone over this ad nauseum on the program, the AI develops preferences and biases based on how it's trained and who's training. And so that's really where the care has to come into developing the AI, is making sure you've got competent people training it with competent tools, and they're doing it in a competent manner so that it doesn't go off the rails and do stupid, launch missiles in Russia kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or lock his own rooms like Coke.
Or like they did in iRobot. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's good to know that the AI is not going to develop that premise on its own, but it's just a reinforcement that you need to take the care in how these things are used and programmed. And I agree with you. I'm all for having AI handle the mundane,
100%.
the stupid stuff that I have to deal with to get to the creative stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The creative, because AI, it's an imitator. It's not a creator.
Yep.
It can't be creative. It doesn't have that capability.
The moment it turns into a creation or a creator, to your point, the worse off we're going to be, because then it's like we're going to be fully dependent on AI
And
to
I
create
feel like
stuff.
That's happening already with the younger generation.
Right.
They're relying on it so much.
Right.
It's only going to bring failure because
And
they're not developing their creative side of their brain. What they're doing is they're going to it. It's giving them an answer, and they're just duplicating that. So they're becoming the AI robot because they're just a dummy system over and over again.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to read and listen to music and do all kinds of things where those creative juices can flow. Because otherwise, it's gonna be a shit show. You're right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We all need to be de-extincted.
Immediately.
Yeah, if not sooner, right?
John, do you have a good de-extinction guy?
Yeah. I'll give you his number.
By the way,
His number is 267.
by the way, when you were mentioning how the stuff that comes from China was like this much off,
Yes.
I was thinking in my head, do they not remember to convert like
They don't.
metric to
They definitely don't.
US?
To the imperial?
How do you expect a 5-year-old to do that? Real is real.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we've come to topic 4. I've got a giant TV sitting over there, and as much as I would have loved to play the game, we just don't have any idea how to hook that kind of thing. Jim, Matt and I did both the time we were here together.
I mean, we gave it a shot.
It was fun,
Yeah.
but the result on the screen is
Yeah.
kind of because we had to set up the camera to film the TV and the reflection. So we're going to do a different kind of game. We're going to do blind ranking. We've done this before. This is fun. We've got some topics of 5 in the lists of information, and we give them to you one at a time. You rank them 1 to 5 without knowing what's coming next, which makes it fun because the shake weight then becomes the number 1 exercise.
Yeah, exactly.
And hilarity ensues.
Absolutely.
So we've got some topics we're going to do today. Gonna pass it to Matt and John for different topics. They're gonna rank them as I read them off, and hopefully they'll botch this up.
Because if you're on the internet, you might as well make winners.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's right.
All right, Matt, I'm going to start with you. We're going to do sports records, given we were talking Alex Ovechkin breaking Gretzky's all-time goals record.
Sounds good. Yep.
So we're going to start. The first record I'm going to bring up is the youngest NBA MVP winner, which was Derrick Rose at 22 years and 191 days old.
Wow.
That is the youngest NBA MVP.
That's impressive. First of all, that's very impressive. I'm assuming this list is top five.
Correct. So you got to go 1 to 5.
Boy, that is really impressive. I have to say, I didn't realize he was that young when he made the MVP.
I didn't either.
I'm going to put that as a 3. I think if it's Derrick Rose, it's definitely number 3 for me on that list. Yeah.
All right. Next, we've got NFL career rushing yards. 18,355 by, we're throwing you a bone, Landon Smith.
Oh, God.
He left a comment.
Oh, he did?
On the last episode, by the way. I think he's just jealous because if we were going to do Cowboys uniforms, they're all shut.
Well, they kind of
Well, I'll take the white one with the white one and the white one.
And the other blue. Yeah.
The stupid
They're
star.
all different.
Yeah. All right. So you got career rushing yards by Landon Smith.
Number 2. I think that's just. I mean, anytime you run for 18,000 yards in a league that's that physical. I mean, my God, come on. I mean, I don't know how many converting that into miles. I don't know how long that is, but that's still very impressive. So yeah, number 2.
It's at least 3.
Yeah, I think it was probably 3.
More than that, but it's at least 3.
Yeah.
All right. Next.
Okay.
Most yards lost to kneeling, which is 211
Nice.
by Tom Brady.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, you got to remember you're kneeling probably because you're winning.
Yeah. 5.
So he did a lot of.
I would say 5 on that.
5.
Yeah.
Good.
I
Okay.
mean, you're just taking a knee. That's not really impressive to me. That kind of deal. So I'd say 5.
Okay.
Yep.
That sets up nicely. All right.
Okay.
The only father-son duo suspended for biting. Claude and Brendan Lemieux.
Wow.
Is that
You
good
know-
number 1?
The funny thing is, when you first read that, I thought he was going to go like the Griffies, right? First father-son duo to play in the major leagues. I was like, oh, that's number 1. Are you kidding me? That's like,
That's why I said it.
it was beautiful. The way you delivered that was fantastic. 4 on that.
4?
Yeah,
Oh,
4 on
all
that.
right.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, that sucks because the last is no hitters.
Oh yeah.
7 by Nolan.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
number 1.
that is that.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Ha. Gotcha.
Damn. I was hoping you'd think I was saving something even stupider. So that you would put that as number
I mean,
1.
maybe in retrospect, I probably would put the kneeling 4 and Lemieux biting 5. I guess I don't know, but
Well, that's not how blind
that's
rankings
not
work.
how blind
Yeah.
rankings work. That's right.
All right, so we had number 1 was no hitters by Nolan Ryan. 2 was career rushing yards in the NFL. 3 was the youngest MVP winner in the NBA. 4 was the only father-son duo suspended for biting.
That's wild.
And 5 was Tom Brady's record for going back.
100%.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that didn't work out as planned. All right, John, you get
Sir.
5 random Phillies.
Okay.
So let's start off with pitcher from 1990 and 1991,
Mhm.
Jose De Jesus, as I like to call him, Dr. Jesus.
I'm gonna put him 4 because I barely remember.
It was the name. It was all
I know.
about the name. Okay, next I've got from 20. He arrived in 2012. He was in the minors, I think, for a little while. Last year with the Phillies was 2018. He was a catcher, then moved to first base. This was Tommy Joseph, acquired in the trade
Yeah.
from San Francisco
Yeah.
for Hunter
Yep,
Pence.
I remember that trade. Yeah.
Wow.
Put in 3 because they thought he was the up and coming.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, oh.
I think
And did play in the major leagues. So
he did.
Yeah.
I think concussions derailed his
I think
career.
he went to San Francisco and maybe he ended up somewhere else and he played a lot. There's a couple of those coaches that did that. Maybe it was just
He ended up moving to first base
Yeah.
because of all the concussions he played. So, and I'm trying to think who was at first base in that time frame.
Oh,
Donner.
2018. Oh,
Well, and before,
Yeah.
because Howard was still around for the first part.
Yeah. So
He
he
was
definitely,
not-
Tommy Joseph actually his last appearance was in 2017.
Well, he was with the Phillies.
With the Phillies. He's actually a coach now with the Baltimore Orioles.
Good.
So there you go.
Good for him. All right, next we've got. I'm gonna say it like Don Dan. Tadahito Iguchi.
I love that guy.
Nope.
Me too.
Number 99 in your
Yep.
program.
No. That was So Taguchi.
Oh, that was so Taguchi. Okay, so this is totally different then.
Tadahito Iguchi
Okay.
came in 2007 when Chase Utley was injured. Played second base, filled in very admirably
No.
while they chased the playoff in 2007.
And lost.
And
Yeah.
I didn't know this, but he apparently came back in 08. It was after September 1st, so he could not be in the postseason.
Oh.
It sucked.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, can you imagine? Oh, man. Look at the teeth.
All right, next on the list, I have Tomas Perez,
Do I have
2000 to
do I have
2005
three
infielder.
open?
No,
No.
you have 2, 3, and 4 fillers. So it's 1 or 5.
Oh, gosh.
He's gonna have to go 5.
5?
Yeah, because one's who knows. Who knows?
All right.
I'm glad I remember some of these guys.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to pick, recent.
They're great.
Tomas Perez was just one of those,
Yeah.
like, he could play anywhere in the field, but he
Oh,
batted like 200.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely didn't want him with the bases loaded and 2 outs. You didn't want him
Didn't
up.
want to make the plate. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Although I got him confused. Who was the guy who made the final out for Roy Halladay in his perfect game?
Pedro Cruz?
No.
No.
Carlos Ruiz threw out the last time.
No. That was the playoff game. I went the perfect game against
Oh, the third baseman.
because he was a similar,
Yeah.
like he was a utility infielder.
Yeah. I don't remember who it was.
I'll find it.
All right. While you looking that up, John, last. Actually, no. You can't rank this one. This was just for
Yeah.
fun. Wayne Gomez.
Yeah, he's totally.
No, he's not. You can't rank him. He's just not on the list. The last one for you to rank. Juan Pierre.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Out of all those guys, yeah, he was the most serviceable, right?
Yeah.
Only played 1 year as a film.
Yes.
2012.
Yes.
Most notable for being a Marlin.
But they actually the Phillies actually for the first time in their history started a hit and run and a double steal kind of thing with him. So he's a catalyst of what they're doing now.
Trying to still find. Sorry about that.
That's
Still
okay.
trying to find the
2010 Phillies roster.
the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you had Juan
Was that
Pierre.
against the Marlins?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
against the Marlins. Yeah.
So you had Juan Pierre 1, Tadahito Iguchi 2, Tommy Joseph 3, Jose Dr. Jesus de Jesus
Yes.
4, and utility man Tomas Perez at 5.
I
Still
agree.
pretty good.
I agree
Yeah.
with that.
It's pretty good.
All right. You guys are screwing this up.
I'll keep looking.
I could have found this by now.
I know. Well, I'm on my phone. Come on, stop it.
Oh my God.
Because it was a shot the third, right?
Yeah, it was a shot in the
Yes.
third, and I
Yes.
could see him like he spun 300, like he spun 360 degrees, and he threw the guy out.
I have no idea.
Yeah, or 7 fleas.
No, it was not Feliz. I'm gonna.
But I
thought-
know he was a utility guy.
Yeah, I thought it was Pedro.
He was
Cruz,
absolutely.
yeah.
Who was it? Oh my gosh.
Was it Wilson Valdez?
Possibly. That would be a number
It was
7.
Wilson
Yeah,
Valdez.
Totally be a number
Okay.
7.
Yeah, because I remember McCarthy's call. Valdez spins, fires, a perfect game, and all that kind of stuff. I think it was Wilson Valdez. Yeah. Wow.
There you go.
Makes
Wilson
sense. So
Valdez.
Pedro
It's
Feliz late.
Similar thing, like utility.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
All right, Matt. Dog
Oh,
breeds.
Love it. Love it. Let's go.
You used to have Samoyeds.
Oh, I
correct?
did. Yeah.
Beautiful dogs, but you can make a sweater out of them hair this shit.
Yeah, that was like the only problem. The amount of lint that we had to wipe off, it was ridiculous. I mean,
Can't wear black.
and yet we did. I don't know why. Oh, goodness.
All right, first one for you to rank. We have the shit. I'm sorry, shit. Misread that.
Thank you for that repronunciation. That was really good. 5. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of smaller dogs. I'm more medium sized, large dogs, that kind of a deal.
Okay.
I feel like if I have to walk with one of those things, I'd be like, "What is this?
You don't want to be seen.
Yeah.
What is this thing?"
And that only does it like.
Yes. Looking around. It's like, what's happening?
Car.
Dive!
Hiding up.
Yeah. Dive! Oh my God.
Okay. So 5 for the Shih Tzu. Next,
Right.
we have totally opposite direction. Saint Bernard.
Ooh.
Quality.
Very quality animal. My favorite was when they brought it in for Mythbusters. When they tested whether or not you get drunk in the cold, where you actually it was hypothermia in the cold after drinking alcohol. They brought a real Saint Bernard. Yeah, it was fantastic. Oh, I'm gonna say 3. I'm gonna say 3. Yeah.
Okay. They don't. They're
I
big
wouldn't want
dogs.
one in the house though. I think it's too big. I think it's a big burly dog. It's a great dog. But
I had an assistant, and her desktop picture was a picture of her husband with a Saint Bernard on his lap.
Jeez.
gosh.
You got a bad back and bad hips.
Yeah, that's right.
And I said, "Oh, that's a huge. That's a lot of weight." She went, "Oh, that one only weighed 197 pounds."
The one
Like-
before was 365.
Yeah.
Like 197. That's around my weight.
Yeah. Huh?
Yikes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're beautiful dogs, but unfortunately, as large as they
Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame.
Okay, next we have the Dachshund, the wiener dog.
4.
4.
I like the dachshund. I do. More than Shih Tzu.
They're not toys.
They're not toys, but again, smaller dog. So I'm kind of,
Well, they're bred to hunt rats.
which I would be in
Vermin.
favor. Or vermin. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Boy, but that's a word you don't use every
Get a
day.
cat.
Vermin.
Get a cat and wiener dog. You don't have anything.
There you go. Right.
There you
There you go.
go. Okay, next. You may regret using these where you are. The Chihuahua.
It's either 1 or 2, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna go 2 on that one.
2. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm spread this one. Go on.
We've got the Fur Real Friends Poop-A-Lot Corgi Interactive Toy.
If it's a corgi, I think I'd be fine with a 1. Yeah, I'd be fine with
It's
it.
not a real corgi.
It's fake.
It's a toy.
a fake toy. Yeah.
And it poops.
Great.
I had considered there's a dog called Sholo Eats Quickly, which is a Mexican hairless dog.
Oh goodness.
They show up in a lot of those ugly dog
Yeah.
contests.
Do you see those at all in Texas, Johnny? The Mexican hairless ones?
No.
No?
John lives
Maybe
in
in
Spain.
Mexico.
Pit bulls.
Oh, pit bulls. Okay.
See those everywhere.
That's true.
Uh,
No
fo-
gold retrievers, no black labs. Like, what the hell kind of list is this?
That's no fun. Follow Chaco Dog on Facebook. It's good stuff.
There you go.
He's awesome.
Right.
It's a pit bull, and he's got human features.
Nice.
He eats,
Love it.
and throws things.
There you go.
All right, John, we're going to you for cat types.
There you go.
And I've got mixtures because the cat breeds are kind of weird. So I
They're
got
all the same.
mixtures of colors.
Yeah.
They're all the
And
same.
different
Nice.
things. And if you need to see a picture of any of these, I'll pull one up for you. All right, first, we're going to go with calico.
I'm gonna put that 3. That's middle of the road for me. Yep.
Right? Okay. That's like orange, black,
Mhm.
white.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Babies are really like the baby calicos. Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's just melt my heart.
Yeah.
I forget if it's this one or the tortoise shell where they're only females, actually.
I don't know.
Like, I think
Yeah.
all calicos are females.
Interesting. Huh.
Even better because female cats are great.
See, I've always had, well, that's not true. Living on my own and married,
Yeah.
we've always had male cats because I've actually heard male cats are more affectionate. And I actually had 2 female cats growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and they were both kind of standoffish.
Okay.
So
I've had
Interesting.
good relations with both male and female cats.
There you go.
Probably with the breed.
okay, next we have Russian Blue.
Never seen one of them.
I'm gonna have to pull.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look at that.
Put that up here real quick. Russian blue.
Here's a good example.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say blue. I would say gray.
Yeah.
They're called Russian Blue.
Interesting.
All right.
Three.
Calico's 3.
I'm gonna have to put that 4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Next we have orange.
That's gonna be my number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Garfield.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the orange cats
Love
are
the
always
tabbies.
one of my favorites.
They're
Yeah, the
beautiful.
tabbies.
Little tigers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do make a cat breed called a Twigger.
Oh, Toyger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which has like stripes.
Oh, that was.
Oh,
great.
that's
But I
really
like, I
neat.
like the way that the tabbies look. The orange tabbies look when they run with the white and the orange. The
It's like a
rubber-
creamsicle cat.
They're just so cute.
Yeah. Yeah, they're great.
Do you want to eat them?
No. No, we really
All right.
don't want to do that. No.
Next we have. Oh yeah. Next we have Siamese.
They can go down to the 5 star. I don't
Ooh.
like Siamese cats at all.
Ooh. What bugs you?
I have no idea.
Tariffs.
Probably because they like thin necks and they just look pretentious. And I'm not interested. I'm just not interested. I would like to interact with my cat. I don't want to be judged by it. So,
All right. Well, you may regret that
Oh, no.
because last on the list is the Sphinx.
damn
Hairless cat.
But my wife does want to call it nudicrous, so so that's behind my list.
The only place left is 2. So
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
there
got to
you
go
go.
there because hey,
Amber, this one's
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
she wants one. So
There you
All right.
go.
So we had orange, Sphinx, Calico, Russian Blue, and Siamese.
I think I did pretty good with that.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Matt.
Yeah.
We're going to you for exotic vacations.
Let's
do it. I picked some doozies.
You
out
go.
here.
Oh, no,
You're
I
going.
can't wait for this list. Oh, God.
All right. First, I've got K2.
That's the mountain range where you could die from climbing.
It's shorter than Mount Everest, but
Yes.
it's still. Really
But
tall.
most of them, if you do climb them. for
See,
a
okay,
long time, you could die.
Here's the thing. That is a beautiful mountain. One of the world's greatest mountains ever. But it's also very incredibly deadly, which I'm not quite sure why you would want to put me there as an exotic location.
I think Matt's the kind of guy that would fly there, look at the mountain, take a selfie, and be like, "Look, mountain."
Like, throw alcohol.
Just go. I was there.
Let's put Wi-Fi up there for him.
Do the podcast from there.
There you go.
I'm going to go 4 because I don't quite trust this list already. So I'll go
He's
4.
trying to actively murder you.
Yeah, he's trying to actively murder me here. Okay. Yeah.
Good.
Fucking
I'm
first-
on to you. I'm on to
first
you.
in waters of the Gulf of America.
Go on.
This was a hard list to put
I'm
together.
Oh, I
sure.
bet. I bet.
Because I searched like weird exotic vacations. I didn't like what was coming up because it was too cool.
Not going there.
Oh, God, no.
All right, next Transylvania,
Ooh.
Castle Dracula.
Yeah, see, that. See, and there's a lot of history in it, too. That's the thing. There's
Oh,
so much history.
Tons.
You're getting it now. 3. I'm going to say 3.
I'd hang.
I would go. I would definitely go just check out the
Yeah,
castles and
just
all.
see
Yeah. Yeah. Then I would turn around and go home.
My dad did as part of his job visit Romania.
Oh.
He didn't go to Transylvania.
Oh,
It was, unfortunately, it was just after we retired.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of a mess.
Oh, I bet it was. Yeah.
A little rough.
Yeah, a little rough out there.
Yeah. Okay, next.
Huh?
Easter Island.
Easter Island. Okay.
It's one with all the heads.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the stone heads. the beach,
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
That is still
Yeah,
Aliens, right?
we don't know.
probably.
We don't know, probably.
Let's just
I'm going to go 2 on that. I'm going to go 2 on that.
It's a good coast. I mean, you get to see
Hell
a lot
yeah.
of- there's a lot of nice around.
I'll take that.
Well, for me, it's a beach, so that's a plus.
That's a
And
plus.
whoever put the heads there is probably not there anymore.
I would assume they left.
I would have assumed they left too.
I think I could be safe.
You're like, oh, what's that? And then all of a sudden You get stuck by a dart, you're dead.
All right, next, the Rwandan jungle.
Oh God. I'm not a big.
Where I understand you become face to face with gorillas.
Yet no. And snakes and all? No. 5.
Oh yeah, there's tons of
Yeah.
There's pythons.
And there's humidity, and there's like 90-degree weather.
That was the place Joe
Like-
Rogan showed on his podcast, the snake that ate the alligator.
Yeah.
and the alligator bust through the snake.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna
So there's a snake big enough to eat an alligator, and an alligator
then
big
it
enough to
busted
put-
through?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Don't want to see that.
was.
Don't want to go anywhere near any jungle. There's probably going to be a ton of mosquitoes. Where are you sending me with these exotic locations? My God.
Gorillas? I like a monkey.
Yeah.
I think it was.
I'd like to know because I'm
Why are
gonna
you trying to kill me?
did the crocodile swallow?
Yeah, that was what the video was. Like he literally was consuming him, and as soon as the tail disappeared,
He just opened up his
he
mouth.
just did crocodile things.
It's like a huge
Yep,
prank.
he just did crocodile things.
I mean, that would be amazing to see, but also terrifying.
No matter how big the snake is, the crocodile is bigger.
All right, so last on the list, we're gonna the moon.
With or without nuclear power. Was that
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, so that's number 1. But I would go to the moon as an exotic location. Hell yeah. I think that would be unbelievable to say. So that's a backfire because I would love to go to the moon, and I would love to be able to see it. See Earth from the moon.
Dude's not going.
The only downside is the amount of G's that you would have to go through in order to get there. That would be scary. I mean, it would be like, ugh. And then the weightlessness would be kind of weird too because you're like jumping up and down. Whoa, what the heck's
When you
going
get
on?
up there, fix that flag a little bit.
I definitely will. Yeah, I'll actually take a proper photo, not in a NASA studio.
Yikes.
All right, so one, we got the moon,
Zing.
Easter Island, Transylvania, K2, and Rwandan jungle.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are some exotic locations. I will give you them.
Good work.
All right. So John, it comes last to you. We've got EV.
Yes.
Oh boy, look out!
I'm guessing since you travel a lot, you may have seen.
And in the company I do work for is EV support, but one of our divisions. So I do know a decent amount
Okay.
of EVs.
Nice.
All right. We're going to start with the Ford Focus EV.
Which immediately goes to number 5. It sucks.
A regular Ford Focus.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
A regular Ford Focus sucks, and then you put EV on it, it can't even go as fast as a regular one.
Of course not. Why would it? Yeah.
It just immediately goes to 5.
All right.
Everything's
next.
better.
Well, let's stick with Ford. Let's do the F-150 Lightning.
I've heard good things. I've seen a few of them, so I'll put that at 2.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, that's actually, if I were to do a truck EV, that seems to be the one that gets all the good reviews.
Nice.
And for a truck, for not long-term travel, but if you're, in around, you're, going to Home Depot, coming back, and you have a house that you can charge it into, nobody seems to hate that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Not a Polygon PlayStation 1 Cybertruck.
Yeah, definitely not that.
All right. Next, little exotic here. We got a Porsche Taycan.
I've never heard of that.
Wow.
I knew they were working.
it's a
on
Porsche,
something.
though.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Porsche.
Hmm.
That's got to go number 1 because of the Porsche is way better at doing things than any other company.
Okay. All right.
And if Tesla can make a decent EV, I'm sure Porsche can make a really good one.
All right. So you got 3 and 4 left.
Taycan right there.
That's nice looking too.
Nice. I'll
They
put
did a
that
good
on
job,
screen
yeah.
in 3, 2, 1. There you go.
Ow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right in Steve's head.
Next, we got the Chevy Bolt.
That one sucks, so that goes 4. That one is awful. I've read so many bad things about that thing.
Well, I will tell you, I think all of the EVs on this list at some point appeared on a worst list
Okay.
of EVs. Just saying, even the Taycan one, I think, was on.
It makes sense because Porsche's making the first EV. But I would trust them over getting a Tesla.
Okay. Last one on the list is, and I just put it on here because the name is funny, the Nissan Leaf.
I've seen them. They're fucking hilarious looking. They should come right in the
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. All right, so we got the Taycan, the F-150 Lightning, the Leaf,
Yeah.
the Bolt, and last but not least, the
Ford
Focus.
EV, yeah.
That's a damn good list, John. That's really well done. Yeah, that's really good.
Survived.
I lived.
I'm
All
glad
right.
I heard a couple.
Well, this was a lot of fun
Yes,
doing it all together.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
Absolutely.
first time in the history of
We
the
did.
podcast that we did it. We did it.
And the history of the world.
Never.
Reach across there, boom. There you go.
Oh, see, I can actually
Yeah.
I can actually punch you.
You had your
If I
opportunity
want
the
to.
whole time.
Yeah, and you didn't take it.
I know. All right, so you. I'll have to do it for 2037.
It could possibly
Um,
happen.
It's the year 2037.
Hey, it could.
We don't know.
You never know.
Ooh.
He does.
John likes to tease.
That's why he's the CEO of the podcast. He just loves to drop that tease every once in a while. Yeah. There you go.
All right. Well, for this half, we say goodbye.
Later.
So, so
I'm
that was
still here,
episode.
just don't want me anymore.
That was episode 237. No, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's episode 237. We had some fun. We had some laughs. We were together. We had fun. Screw you. Get out.